Here we go with Swing Along with Mitch one more time, and we're going to do a few of these. But what I want to talk about today is how do we know the club was square? And I've got a couple techniques for that, but the one I'm going to show you today seemed to work for me and a lot of actually most of the students I work with. So I want to show that to you right now. I actually want to picture that my forearm has four sides to it, like a box. And when I set up to a club, this side is facing the ball. Now I call that the first side of the box. And the second side of the box is the side that's facing the target, which is right there. So if you can see, this is facing the ball, and this one's facing the target. So when I swing back, out and around, and I come in, if I leave it like this, that you can see this piece of tape, the club face is open. And we don't like to say this word, but it's a shank, hosel rocket to the right, and I want to demonstrate that. So if I take this back and I leave that tape on the two side facing the ball, it shoots over and hits my bag. Unless now that is a shot in golf. It's just used like 1 out of 1,000 times when a tree's in front of you. But if I want to square the club, I'll take that back. I notice that side 2 is facing the ball. That's rotating the forearm. I bring it back to the one side. So it goes like this. I take this back, 1. Now, here's why a lot of you have problems. Your brain is thinking about the hands. And hands are an integral part of the golf swing. When they set, I do not swing my hands or square the club with my hands. It is a rotation of my body and the forearm. So if I get my brain in tune with my forearm, I'm not casting the club and throwing the club head at it. I'm just rotating this back like this. And I'd want you to do that. You just stand like this and rotate it back like that. So it'd go like this. That's forearm. Hand can go like that. Don't want hands. Hands should be on Ritalin. They get nervous, especially in nervous situations. Like it's the best round you ever had. There's water in the front. You get yippy with your hands. Forearms, you just rotate the forearm through. Now this is a mental picture when you're squaring the club face. You can feel that forearm roll. And it's a natural thing. It just rolls. We talked about out and around. That tape is facing you. And then when I swing down, that rolls back and hides this one and hits it with this one. Now this is how you square a club. Now there are other things I'm going to teach you in later sessions that make that easier, that makes that actually just flow. And you're not going to believe that right now, but I'm going to show you that. And when we go practice, if you go practice and you have 20 thoughts in your head, I would go practice, I'd say, okay, I don't care what the guy down here is thinking about me. I would take this back, and all I'm going to do is rotate that back to that's like that. Even put a piece of tape on two sides of your forearm. So I take this back. You could look crazy. You haven't learned weight shift, anything. You take this back, rotate that like that. It's going there. That's how you square a club. And if I'm getting excited, that's how it's done. All right, we'll be back. Now we're going to talk about exactly the natural order of things. Now there's a natural order to everything. In fact, it would be terrible if rabbits started eating like lions or something, because that's not the natural order. So it won't work in golf either. Which, by the way, they say that rabbits hop, but I think you only hop on one foot. And actually rabbits should leap, but that kind of stuff bother anybody else? All right, here's the natural order. If I take this club back, my arms are in I probably got 5 feet going that way, 5 feet going this way with the club, so I got a 10-foot diameter. And I have a 28-inch weight, a little bigger than that. So if I try to swing them both at the same time, it rarely works. Something has to swing before something else, okay? And if you ever noticed when you were playing, if you only took your hands back to here, you would say, boy, I hit the shot better that way than when I take a full swing. That's because the arms are in the same circle, same size circle as the body. But here's how the swing actually works. Now we've got stance, we've got posture, we know how to square a club. This ties it all together. When I take this back, I also coach baseball, and it's the same with baseball. When this is here and they call this a trigger move. I trigger, and then I start the swing by turning the hips, and that pulls the arms through. And there's this feeling right out in here when to let it go. So when the hips are pulling, if I had a wagon and it was full of concrete block, I would pull it. And I'm actually doing that with my hips. I'm pulling the wagon. So I do the same thing with the golf club and 2 arms. So when I take this back like this, and I wore a white belt for 2 reasons. One, I really like white belts. And the second reason, so you could actually pick up on this. So when I have this here, that white belt, I'm pulling my hips. I know the natural order. My brain is on the right thing that's going to start this club through the ball. So I'm turning the hips, and you can watch it just pulling my arms, and they go down and through, and they're the last thing to get there. So let me see if I can demonstrate that. Here's what you do. You take this out and around, and then you swing your arms at it. And I hit that thin, and I don't know where that's going to go. And I take this out and around, turn the hips, and I get a solid hit on the 6th line of the golf club. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's called the sweet spot. That's what drives it through. That's the natural order. And I hope you leap into a good year.